The year was 1980. A French naturalist named Charles Monet decided to spend New Year's exploring a remote, ancient cave in the heart of Africa. He walked through its dark, cavernous walls, marveling at the sights, and eventually went home. But a few days later, Monet developed a severe headache. Then came the fever. Within days, his body began to literally liquefy from the inside out. Not long after Charles Monet died, scientists realized his death was caused by a horrifying, microscopic killer. Monet hadn't just walked into any cave. He had walked into ground zero for a biological nightmare. Today, we are uncovering the chilling true story of the deadliest cave on the planet, and the horrifying question of what happens if the monster inside it ever gets out. Hidden deep within Mount Elgon National Park, on the border of Kenya and Uganda, lies Kitum Cave. Unlike most caves, Kitum wasn't carved by water. It was carved by animals. For thousands of years, herds of wild elephants have wandered into the pitch-black depths of this cave, using their tusks to scrape the walls and mine for vital, nutrient-rich salt. It is a place of breathtaking natural wonder. But the elephants aren't the only things living in the dark. Following the death of Charles Monet, scientists established that his killer belonged to a terrifying family of viruses known as filoviruses. The mildest of these sisters is Marburg, but the worst of them is Ebola Zaire. If you contract Ebola Zaire, the kill rate is a staggering 9 out of 10 people. These rare viral diseases have a case fatality rate ranging from 50 to 90%. To make matters worse, there is no known cure. They are highly contagious to anyone coming into direct contact with a victim, and there is no known vaccine. But why is Kitum Cave the epicenter of this nightmare? The answer lies above the elephants. The ceiling of Kitum Cave is home to massive colonies of fruit bats. As the bats roost, their droppings rain down onto the cave floor. When the elephants walk through the cave to mine for salt, their massive feet kick up the dry dust into the air. If a human walks into that cave and breathes in that dust, they become the next host. The horrors surrounding this cave were so unbelievable that they captivated the world. In 1994, author Richard Preston published a terrifying non-fiction thriller called The Hot Zone. The book became a massive global bestseller. Decades later, the story was adapted into a gripping television series, bringing the terrifying reality of Kitum Cave right into our living rooms. With such a deadly reputation, you would think Kitum Cave is sealed off behind concrete walls and military guards. Surprisingly, it isn't. Today, Kitum Cave remains a part of Mount Elgon National Park, and tourists can actually visit it. However, it is heavily advised never to enter without a professional guide, and researchers who go deep into the cave still do so wearing heavy-duty hazmat suits. You can visit, but you do so at your own absolute risk. But the true terror of Kitum Cave isn't just what happens inside it. It's what happens if the virus leaves. We've already seen how easily these viruses can travel. In the late 1980s, one of the deadliest known human viruses turned up for the first time in the United States, hitching a ride in a shipment of monkeys. In our modern, hyper-connected world, a person could get infected in an African cave and be sitting in an airport in London, New York, or Tokyo just 24 hours later. But there is a darker scenario. What if this virus falls into the wrong hands? Because Ebola and Marburg are so incredibly lethal, intelligence agencies fear that rogue organizations could weaponize them. If a highly contagious strain were genetically modified and released in a major city, it could trigger a global catastrophe. Nature has locked its deadliest weapons away in the darkest corners of the Earth. In places like Kitum Cave, microscopic monsters wait patiently in the dark, sleeping in the dust. We can study them, we can write books about them, but we cannot control them. The question isn't whether another deadly virus will emerge from the shadows of the rainforest. The question is, will we be ready when it does?